Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Hello, beautiful Millie and Kiki. Hello, Lorraine Law. It's so good to see y'all. Hello, Janice. Hello. Welcome in. I am so glad you're here. I'm glad you're still up. I know some of you are probably wanting to go to sleep, but I am so glad you're here. Nana, hello, Locks, my friend. Hello, sweetie. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing very well, Nana. Good to see you. Welcome in on this June 14th, Saturday night, 2025. Welcome. Hello to everybody in the bushes. Hello. Thank you for being here. And I'm just thankful and grateful that you are here. So I'm glad, Nana. I'm glad. You're always a night owl, Nana. I love you for that. You're always a night owl. You got me beat, but tonight I am up. I am up and ready to go, honey. I am up. So y'all don't forget to put them thumbs up on that button, because tonight I'm going to be talking about Travis Decker and the three girls again. And mostly, what happened. Hey, Holly S. Hello. Love you, Holly. And we want to do that because, again, Travis is still not been found. He's still out there somewhere. And the more thumbs up we get, the more the story gets out, right? And the more eyes on. Hopefully, they will find him. And, I pray that he is found alive, because I think he needs to be found alive and taken into custody and face everything he's done to these three beautiful girls, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. I don't know how any father could do this. No mercy. Hey, Andrea. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you, Nana. I will let him know. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Yes, it is so heartbreaking. It definitely is very heartbreaking. Hey, Susie, welcome in. I hope y'all have had a wonderful day, a great Saturday. Great Saturday to you all. Happy Saturday. So, hey, Drew K, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Y'all will hear Happy snoring. I couldn't get her to move out of here tonight. And I couldn't get her to stay awake. So you will hear her over there snoring. So sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. So tonight, I guess you're going to get it. So just be happy. She's happy. Fat and happy. That's all I can say. So anyway, it is an awful case. It is horrific. It is, I don't even have words in my vocabulary. I can't even make up words for this one. This is the most horrible case, I think, in America right now, honestly. It's, terrible. Yeah, Happy and Pinky's living their best lives. They are spoiled rotten. They really are. But everybody, just come on in, have your seat, prop up. I love Happy too. Yeah, thank you, Lorraine Law. Oh, she's a sweetie. She is. She's my girl. Hey, Bo, I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you all. I'm glad everybody's coming in. Yeah, I don't get where this guy is, but he is good at this. He is good at hiding out. But I think they will find him. I just hope that he is still alive. And I hope he don't make the cops do something to him to unalive him. This is one that I have never more wanted to see alive and brought back and face justice, in my opinion. I do, Andrea, right now I do, in my opinion. But we don't know. But in my opinion, I think, yes, he is. He knows how to survive. He knows how to, live. I think when somebody thought that they saw him the other day, that yes, that was him, we were all shocked when they said he was ill prepared. But I got to thinking about that. He was probably just caught off guard by seeing those people out there and at the party, and he was a little bit nervous. I don't think he was ready to make any moves to unalive anybody else. He didn't want to do that. He was not ready to be caught or be unalived himself by either himself or by the police at that time. He wasn't ready. And he wasn't ready to be brought into justice. That's just my thoughts and my opinion. And so, yeah, he was a little bit, hey, Tony, and he was just a little bit on edge. I would be too, in my opinion. So that's just my thoughts. It don't make it true. It don't make it fact. It could have been anybody. But yes, I do believe it was him. And yes, I do believe he is still alive. That's just me. Do they think anyone else is involved? Not that I'm aware of, but he could be having help. I don't know. Hey, Hobo's Life. Hello. I hope you're doing well. Great to see you. I hope everything's going well in your life. And I hope you're getting better each day, each day, each day. Absolutely. So, what happened? What happened? What was the motive? And what went wrong? Hey, Ronna. Hello, hello. Yeah, I wonder, Holly said, what was going on in his mind. Does it even matter at this point what the motive was and all that? 3 beautiful little girls, sisters, who the world adored. Their mom adored. Everyone adored is now gone. And to me, there's really no rhyme or no reason why. There's never going to be a reason, in my opinion. There's nothing. I don't see anything, nothing that's ever going to be okay. There's never going to make any of this okay. Whatever reason is ever given, if he's caught alive or that ever comes out, in my opinion, it's not an excuse, nor will it ever be excusable. This is not an excusable act. There's no way, shape, or form. He, Travis Decker, was a decorated Army vet, but I want to tell y'all something. Not all Army vets are like this. They save people and they die for people. They don't they die for people, their country. They die for people they don't even know and they never met before. They never laid eyes on. No questions asked. They don't give it a second thought. They would lay their lives down for this country. And they are always, in my opinion, they are always to be thanked and praised and never forgotten for that. But this guy, Travis Decker, Travis, he had 3 beautiful little girls. They were his flesh and blood. And he took them in the wilderness. And then the unthinkable happened. He claimed he should have visitation rights with them. And I'm going to let you hear his voice. Exactly. And not everybody is like that, okay? Just like not everybody is like, not every police officer is alike. Not every doctor's alike. Not every nurse is alike. There are always bad ones or whatever, there's always one that makes everybody look bad or people to think bad. And you should never think that on veterans, because that's not it. Okay? It's not. Now I want to play something for y'all. We're going to actually hear his voice. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute.
Within 2 weeks since Travis Decker disappeared. The father's accused of kidnapping and killing his 3 young daughters, you see here on your screen. And as the search for him continues, we're hearing his voice for the first time.
Your Honor, I think it's important that these girls get the opportunity to be with their dad. I also think that it's important for them to understand a little bit about the world.
That audio was recorded from a custody hearing in September of last year. Now, during that hearing, Decker was fighting to keep custody of the girls on weekends. He also claimed he never did anything unsafe with them. Now, yesterday, lawmakers, community members, and advocates gathered in Seattle to hold a moment of silence for Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn, and called for stronger child safety laws and changes in how Amber Alerts are issued. Kathy Sherlock's 7-year-old daughter, Kaden, was murdered by her father during a court-ordered unsupervised parenting visit 7 years ago. And despite her efforts, an Amber Alert was not issued in her daughter's case. She's since created Kaden's Law, a federal act to keep children safe from family violence. It's now in 10 states, but not here in Washington.
Maybe if I was here to show up to the Olympia State Capitol, that maybe these little girls,
oh my God, Casey,
would be here. My heart is broken for the Decker family. I send my love to Whitney and everyone involved. The mom, I know what it's like to lose a child this way. I don't want any other mother to have to feel this suffering again.
Their calls for change come as the Kittitas County Sheriff's Office is urging people headed into the woods this Father's Day weekend to be vigilant and alert to anything unusual, especially in and around the Teanaway Valley and Blewett Pass. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office handed off the search for Decker to U.S. Border Patrol and U.S. Marshals. Investigators advise anybody who sees Decker to call 911, but if you have anything else to report, you can also call the number that you see on your screen screen right here. The United States Marshal Service is offering a reward of up to $20,000 for information leading directly to Travis Decker's arrest. The public, meantime, is invited to honor Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia at a memorial planned next Friday at Rocky Reach Park in Wenatchee. Organizers are encouraging everybody to wear pink, purple, and green because those were the girls' favorite colors.
Now, I don't think I have it up. I do got a couple of more videos, but I swear there's another video out there. I'm going to look and see. I don't think I got it up with this one. I got a couple more videos. But you can hear his whole voice in court. And he's describing everything. And it is with the same station. And it's really only him and the judge talking. Y'all need to hear that one, but I don't think I can find it again without screwing my computer up. But anyway, I got another video we're going to listen to. Just a minute. Hold on.
With our regional partners, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, East Wenatchee PD, State Patrol, to continue to pursue justice and make sure their voices are heard. You're going to hear further from our U.S. Marshal partners to kind of elaborate further on how they're going to also assist us in the tracking process. We have not stopped our investigation. And again, we understand that the results from our crime lab processing from the Washington State Patrol, thank you, Chief Batiste, for your continued assistance on this, are starting to come back. We want to make sure those are properly processed, additional leads and interviews are conducted, and that, again, our case is ready to go to court when Travis is brought to justice. So I appreciate your time. I will answer more questions, and I'm going to allow the U.S. Marshal Service to take some further questions from you, the media. But again, I appreciate all of you being here. This is the kind of group effort that's going to take to bring justice to this case. Please make sure you keep their names in your mind and that we bring justice back for those young ladies. Girls is what I've understood the family would like me to refer to them as. But they are deeply in our minds, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Chief Brown with U.S. Marshal Service, Eastern District, Washington. Appreciate everybody being here today. The community support from our law enforcement partners, which the sheriff has already enumerated, and you as a community has been greatly helpful to us. With that support, we're able to involve ourselves and focus on the fugitive investigation. Part of that is to include deploying our rapidly advancing manhunt program. That program brings resources from all over to include funding to support your community, the Sheriff's Department, Border Patrol, and all the other resources so we can navigate the terrain and locate and apprehend the fugitive. We will not stop. We will keep going. He just has to make one mistake, like the sheriff said. We will find him. He will be brought to justice so the community can heal. Thank you.
With that, we'll take about 5 minutes for questions for either two.
Has Decker left any physical evidence behind in the areas that you guys have received tips about?
We have found
Indicating that it's him.
We have found items that are of interest to us that perceive that it could be Mr. Decker. We've also continued to follow up with some of his friends and family, and we believe that we're closing in on his trail.
Sheriff Morrison, what can you tell us about yesterday's possible sighting at Blewett Pass?
Again, this just emphasizes the importance. If you see something, say something. We're appreciative of those group of hikers that were up there, had more acknowledged us as our flight patterns were up there. And then just the behavior that we saw from the lone hiker did not match. That was typical with everyone else we were seeing up there. So again, that sparked our interest. We did put a ground unit on there.
He does. He looks like an officer and a gentleman in there.
Continue to track that down in Eagles Creek and up in the Valley High area. So again, we appreciate everyone, even on the back trails. You need to remain vigilant. And again, we encourage you not to approach the subject. He is still considered dangerous, but please, we need as much information and help from the public as we can get. As we've seen in the past with other manhunts, it is going to take a group effort in a community in order to bring this to a conclusion.
Can you see what changed from yesterday to like you guys were close yesterday and everyone was kind of on edge. I'm just wondering, what about those tactics changed today? It seems like you guys.
No, our tactics have still continued. We still have a ground team on there. We have dogs out there that we're tracking leads. We're going through sightings. We're also doing trackings of what we have found with footprints. So nothing has changed from yesterday. We've just started to head in a different direction. So until that time, our ground units are still on the ground. We still have resources within the Chelan County Sheriff's Office pursuing that, and we'll continue to hunt.
Is there concern that he could be going a different direction towards the Teanaway Trail, towards Clayella?
Absolutely, and I've already been in contact with Kittitas County Sheriff Clay Myers this morning. We know that he has resources on the ground as well. There is nowhere that he's going to be able to go that we don't have units waiting for him. King County Sheriff's Office has already been here assisting us. Snohomish County, been in touch with Okanagan County. We have Douglas County Sheriffs in close contact. They have the Grant County Sheriff today. He is surrounded. Washington State knows who he is. We're going to continue to be in there, and he's got a lot of ground to cover. Eventually, he's going to tire and he's going to make a mistake.
How confident are you that lone hiker you guys spotted is Travis Decker?
We feel pretty confident that it could be him, but again, we're not going to ever go out and say 100% until we have him in our grip.
Sheriff Morrison, when the dogs find Decker, how does that process work after that?
Again, Mr. Decker is going to be able to dictate how this ends. We've encouraged him time and time again to give up, do so peacefully. That's what we're aiming for. But again, Mr. Decker is going to be the one who's going to dictate how this ends. We do not just deploy dogs, just to deploy dogs. They're there to assist us in a tracking process and, of course, to protect the handlers. But he's going to be given the same professional courtesy as any other citizen within Washington State or the United States. We're going to follow de-escalation principles that are followed here in Washington State. We're going to communicate. We're going to do contact and cover, maintain our distance. Our intent is not to hurt or injure him. It is to bring him to justice and make sure that he's in good shape so he can face trial.
I hope so. Lord, please.
Nope. And again, I've said it before, I don't think the motive would even matter. As far as we see it, 3 young girls have been killed. I don't think the motive is going to matter.
Are there any updated pictures of Decker since the man gun or any game camera footage or finders?
We're continuing to reach out and talk to different residents throughout the Valley High and the Ingalls Creek area to see if they do have any cameras mounted in their house. Again, the most recent photos we had is what we've shared. And that was a couple days before he went off grid and, of course, was last seen up the icicle.
Have there been any found supply caches, reported burglaries, and why do you think Decker is now armed?
I don't think any information is put out that he's armed, but I mean, I certainly feel that he is dangerous. If any of you remember the search that we had about 1.5 years, 2 years ago in Kittitas County, we recognized that subject was raiding campgrounds. He had broken into the Liberty grocery store. So again, if you're out there and you notice that you have a vacation home out there or campsite, we want you to keep track of your supplies, of your cabins. If you do have things that are missing, even if it's minor items. In that case, in the previous manhunt, we do know they were just taking a couple items out of coolers, but it was those campers that were attentive and realizing how many supplies they had. This could be a way that he could continue his path out there.
So no biggest challenge right now for you guys?
Terrain. I mean, we have a very unique terrain when you get to the west end of our county. Again, I mentioned it before, 87% of our county is not accessible by road. If you go out there, it's steep terrain. It's heavily wooded. It's not the easiest to access. We have the Pacific Crest Trail, but another unique feature we do have in our favor is that we are a tourist destination. So we have a lot of people out there also recreating on those trails. So we're encouraging them, if you are going to come here, of course, be safe, but help us be those additional eyes and let him know that he has no safe spot to go.
Sheriff, was there a barricaded suspect situation last night on Blewett Pass? Was that related at all?
We did get a call of a potential subject that was in a residence up in the Valley High area. Based off the information we got from our sergeant that briefed the administration here, that did not come out to be a valid call. But again, we're going to continue to handle every single lead that we get as a valid complaint. New tactics as in searching and or in how we contact people? Okay. So, I mean, anyone that has been following Washington state law over here over the last several years, of course, we have Washington State's de-escalate Washington, which was I-940. And of course, it's just how we contact. I mean, we're going to control our pace when we're out there. We're working on contact and cover officers. We've invested heavily, thanks to our county commissioners and other federal partners, with less lethal tools. Again, we're not looking to injure anybody. We just want to take the subject into custody and make sure he stands trial.
I know there's state and local and federal agencies. Are you guys working with
Are you talking about which partners we have? Sorry, getting a little bit of background. Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys working with any Canadian agencies?
I did have contact today with some enforcement agents up in Canada. We continue to work with our prosecutor's office on that front. But again, we've appreciated all the assistance we've had internationally and nationally assisting us. I mean, we're a medium-sized agency, and we recognize without the support of our partners federally, state, and locally, we certainly would have a unique challenge that I don't think we'd be able to take on by ourselves. So we're thankful for that.
One question, please. One more. The opening ICT road.
High School Road was already opened back up. I know the U.S. Forest Service, who's also been one of our partners we've been communicating with, has put out in their press releases that the Enchantments is open again. Again, we'd encourage people to be cautious when they're out there. It is a very wide open terrain, and now you have the potential of a subject who is perceived to be dangerous out there as well that's unaccounted for. So come prepared and know that if there's lots of other places here in Washington State you can recreate. Of course, we want you to come here and visit Chelan County, but if you do so, please be careful. We appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Okay. With that, we'll conclude today's press conference. For our media partners that are here, if you haven't, I have a media contact list I'd like to have updated so I can send out the most up-to-date information. Currently, we don't have another press conference scheduled, but do keep an eye out on our social media platforms and upcoming press releases for that information. Thank you all for coming.
Now, see, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion only, I believe the reason that they're scaling back is for strategy. I could be wrong, but I think that they're doing that to hopefully give him a little bit of leeway to come out. And there's possibly going to be a lot more plainclothes or people in different sites still watching, but from a distance, if that makes sense. That's exactly what I thought when I heard that yesterday. And I just think that's what's going on. I'm going to pull this up. I have to read this, and I'm not used to pulling this up like this, but let's see where we get. Hopefully you can hear, hopefully you can hear me on this. Let me see if I can present this. Hold on. If you can't, Millie, just call me and tell me, because I think, hey, Annabella honeys, because this is something new, I believe. Okay. Okay, I think you can see this. Can everybody see that? It says, this was something that was, I guess, in court or wrote or something, but it says, Travis has made huge sacrifices to serve our country and loves his girls very much, but he has got to get better for our girls, she said. I do not want to keep Travis from the girls at all. To the contrary, I have bent over backwards to facilitate their relationship. And then on September 27th, a judge found adequate cause to modify the parenting plan. Travis disagreed, arguing in court that it was important that the children understand the reality of how the world works, and they would learn from his. And see, I got to do this. Hold on a minute. Shit. Well, I should have figured that was going to do all that. Hold on a minute. Just hold on a minute. Let me try this again. I just want to make sure it wasn't more pages. Hey, R2 Country Girl, hold on a minute. Let's redo this. Hold on a minute. I wasn't sure how many pages. Oh, thank you, Holly. Hold on a minute. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. Share screen. Let me redo this. Hold on a minute. I don't know if I can get back in there now. Shit. View tab for ScreenYard. All right, okay, hold on a minute. It was something for, hold on a minute. Let me see. Let me do it a different way. Lord have mercy. Me and my buttons. Me and my buttons. What in the heck? Not that one. Hold on. Not that one. That's not what I want. Oh, but hold on a minute. I think this is the one. Okay, hold on. I'm going to play this one for y'all. Thank God I did that. Okay, let's just listen to this. This is the whole court thing. Hold on. This is Travis Decker's voice. All right, hold on. Here we go.
I came out into the civilian world and tried to figure out a way that I could live as a civilian. I didn't have family. I didn't have friends. I didn't have any support, especially coming to a state where I didn't have anybody to lean on or a couch to go sleep on. So when we initially went through our divorce, I went and put the uniform back on full time.
No, it's a
so I
Boston
could support
Terrier.
myself
She's got a
and
short
support
nose.
the family through the first big transition of dad not being at home anymore. Once I fulfilled my year obligation, I talked to my chain of command and stepped down from full active duty and transitioned into, my contract ended in December of 2023.
Thank you, Tammy T.
Starting over is hard, and I'm starting at the bottom, and I've got a long way to go, but I don't think that it should restrict the time that I get to be around my daughters.
We're not trying to take these children away from Mr. Decker. We respect and appreciate the fact that he loves his kids. That's obvious by the fact that he's attending their events. It's just important that they have this consistency in their lives.
Since I have been gone, every time I've had the girls, we have been in campsites in national forests and paid campsites that have campers. We've never done anything that was unsafe or anything I wouldn't want to put myself in. I understand that my current position when I'm by myself isn't ideal, but my daughters aren't a part of that. I only get to see them over the weekends, and camping is something that the four of us have done since the three of them were in diapers. I've never done anything I feel like that puts them in any sort of a risk that most families in the state of Washington, every campsite we've been to in the last month have been almost completely booked out or sold out because everybody's out this time of year. When I stepped away from the National Guard, I was making $86,000 a year, and now I make, I think it's like $38,000 a year. So when you start over from zero and you don't have help in hand to get you through it, makes it a little more difficult.
One of the things I need to consider when I look at the best interest of the children is stability, and that's not stable. It's not stable having them in different places every time you have them.
I understand that.
To the court, regardless of whether it's in an RV, whether it's in a tent, whether it's an Airbnb, whether it's at a hotel, a motel, that's not stable. And that's always a concern for the court.
All right, so y'all got to hear his voice, right? So that's one of the things that I was trying to get the whole entire video out a while ago. And I wanted y'all to hear. That's the judge talking to him, and he was speaking, and he was, letting them know. But hold on. That's not, I wanted to read y'all this. Hold on a minute. I mean, it wasn't much, but hold on. Hell, I may not be able to find it again. Makes me so upset when I do that. Hold on. When I try to get them pictures up and then I try to do it, that's why you never see me putting the pictures up, because I always screw it up. I'm in something else looking, y'all. Just bear with me. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal. I may have to get it and find it tomorrow, but that's why I also don't get on the one computer with Facebook, because I get locked out of it. So that's another reason. Let me just look at one more place here. And also, no, not that. Hold on. Okay, let's see if this is it. Hold on. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So this is new information. Okay, so Whitney detailed these informations. Okay, she detailed the incidents that contributed to the separation, including a situation on August 15th, 2024, when Travis allegedly found one of their daughters passed out with a bathrobe tied around her neck at his mother's house and failed to inform Whitney. I don't know what all that was about, but that's what it's saying. And then another incident on December 19th, 2024, involved in one of the daughters injuring her fingers when Travis reportedly was absent and unresponsive to the children. I guess the children tried to call. So then Travis made it said Travis made huge sacrifices to serve our country and loves his girls very much, but he has got to get better for our girls, she said. I do not want to keep Travis from the girls at all. To the contrary, I have been over backwards to facilitate their relationship. And then on September 27th, 2024, a judge found adequate cause to modify the parenting plan. Travis disagreed, arguing in court that it was important that his children understand the reality of how the world works, and they could learn from his current condition. However, the court did not agree. And that's what y'all were hearing in that call a while ago. So I just think the court system definitely failed, and that's my opinion. And, I'm sticking to that. But that's just me, in my opinion. He did not deserve any of that. I'm sorry. I don't agree. I think every parent has a right to see their kids, even if they won't, and all that, and they're not, something's definitely wrong. But I think too many things was pointed out here, And I don't think she was just trying to be a bitch. I don't think it was in the best interest for these kids. And I have no dog in this fight, but I think anybody should have been able to see that, right, Kiki, boom. And I'm getting to that. I think it's because he had that label that he was in the military that that they fell for whatever, and they favored him above her and everything else. And no matter what he said, it went. That's what it seemed to me. And that happens in real life all over the place. And so I think things need to change about this stuff. But I don't think he deserved that. And he should have been stripped of that right. And at least until he got help and was monitored and all the above. And he stopped showing up for his duties. He was on, what do you call that when you're in the military? And God, I can't think of it right now. You're part-time and whatever, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But he stopped showing up for his duties, and he stopped caring about his country, in my opinion, and his own self and his ex-wife, in my opinion, and nobody listened. And he stopped reserves. Thank you, Susie. And he stopped caring for his children. And then here we are. And whether it was a matter of illness, mental illness, or whatever the problem was, nobody listened. They just looked at him as like, oh, he's this decorated veteran. And again, I say, okay, well, guess what? There's people that wear cops uniforms too, but some of them's corrupt, right? There's doctors out there, and guess what? They've been busted for SA. Guess what? There's school teachers out there, and they've been busted for SA and drugs and many things, right? Okay. There's judges out there who have literally been taken down. That don't mean nothing, okay? Here we are. Just because you were this or you were that or a decorated vet or a cop or a nurse or a teacher, it don't mean anything, people. People needs to wake up and open their eyes and start living in this damn real world. That's the problem now. People don't live in the real world. People judge people by the cover of the book, in my opinion. Everyone is not good. Everyone is not the same. And everyone don't have the best intentions, in my opinion. Some people use things as a cover, and we must never forget that either, in my opinion. Just saying. Thank you, Susie. Thank you for becoming a new member. Whoop, whoop. I don't have my thing in here, so I'm just going to give you a little smile and a laugh. Thank you, honey. Thank you for becoming a new member. So some people use those things just as a cover. Yeah, he needs to be held accountable for what he did, just like anybody else. Let's start with who is Travis Decker, shall we? Travis was born August 15th, 1992 from Wisconsin. He started in high school. He started high school sports. He served in the U.S. Army from 2013 to 2021, including Afghanistan. His deployment training with the 173rd Airborne, and he was described by a former squad mate, at least one come out and said something, but he was described as quiet, hardworking, and allegedly, though, they described him as a narcissist who felt pressure to follow in his father's military footsteps. That says a lot to me. You know, sometimes people trying to follow in others' footsteps are just not possible. It's just not. No matter how hard you try, nor, in my opinion, is it really worth it. I don't care if they're family or they're not. But hey, that's just me. I always say just be who you are. Be who you are. God made no two people alike, blood or not blood. I always say just be who you are. Be happy with you. Be happy with yourself. Love yourself. And remember, I don't care who you are, the grass is never greener on the other side. Thank God for them unanswered prayers. Oh, I've had many of them. I may not have known why then or close to then. Maybe many years later I knew, but thank God for them unanswered prayers. Hey, Joe Neal. So he married Whitney in 2013 and they divorced in 2022. And their co-parenting had challenges. They did. Everybody's marriages and co-parenting has challenges, but theirs had challenges, of course. Post-military, he struggled. He had homelessness. He was living in his trucks and campgrounds. You heard him on that video. He even told the judge that, right? He had unstable housing. In the court filings highlighted decline in mental health, probable diagnosis like bipolar and PTSD, and the girl's mom's petition to restrict visitation, but none of that helped. Again, in my opinion, and in Minnie's opinion, don't just take my opinion. And again, it is opinions. We're all entitled. But the system failed. On May 30th was the first, as I'm understanding it, visit like this. He took his little girls, 9, 8, and 5, Caitlin, Evelyn, and Olivia, and failed to return them home. It got night, and people got worried. So family reported them missing, and the authorities issued the alerts. And then June 2nd, his truck was found abandoned at Rock Island Campground, and his daughters, their bodies in a tent, plastic bags, zip tied. Cause of death, suffocation. Male blood and items tied to Decker was at the scene. And a week-long nationwide search led to sightings near that, is it Bellwit Pass? You know, they had the helicopters, K9s. They all tracked him to Ingalls Creek trailhead. Authorities emphasized he must remain flawless to be captured and surrounded. All it's going to take is one mistake or one day for him to get tired. He's going to mess up. Hey, JH, hello. And then he'll blow it, right? There's a $20,000 reward out, and they warn the public he may be dangerous. I would say he's dangerous whether he has a weapon or not. Anybody that would take these precious lives of their own flesh and blood, these little girls who did nothing, is dangerous, even if in their own mind. Their parenting plan from September 2024 limited him to select weekend hours, no overnight, and a mandated psychiatric report evaluation. He was supposed to take anger management and no marijuana in the vehicle. Now, Whitney's attorney cited concerns for the girl's safety and emotional welfare. They were right to be worried. At least in my opinion, anyway. Oh, Holly, I hope a woman didn't help him escape either. My God. At least one that didn't know anything about this. And if she didn't know anything about this and there is a woman involved, you can't tell me that now she don't know nothing about this unless she's just all tied up in it. If she knows this, honey, she better come forward right now. She better even lie and say, I just turned on the YouTubes and the TVs and I just saw this. Oh my God, I didn't know. Honey, she better do something and get her ass out there like 10 minutes ago. Because this ain't good. But I honestly think okay, this is what I think. I think there's two things. It could go either way. I don't think nobody in their right mind, honestly, with common sense, is going to help him with this. I think it was pre-planned, period. There's a couple of things I think on this, maybe three, okay? Let's just get into it. However, I think I scratch my head as I say this. I think after the fact, could somebody unknowingly have helped him out there with a ride or something? Possibly. You know, to get him further on down the road. I think sometimes I wonder, does anybody know? Because for a fact, because I do wonder, okay, do we know for a fact if that handprint on the truck was factually his or it was undetermined? Anybody know that? Because sometimes I wonder, what if, okay, it's not confirmed it was his for a fact, but an adult male. Okay, so And thank you. Casey lives there, so Casey knows. And by all means, don't take this the wrong way, but I have been asked this many a times. And this is not a case I want to cover. This is why I'm not. But it's getting so big. I don't want to cover it because it's big. That's not what I'm saying. It's a little bit more news, so I want to put it out there together, okay, and let y'all know I have not forgot these girls and why they haven't found him and stuff. But it's not one I want to cover every day and all that. I wonder if, how do we know that somebody didn't harm all of them or the girls and then like take him somewhere? I'm just saying. I don't know. We know they didn't. That's not probable though, because they didn't carjack him. They didn't take anything, right? But you know, I don't know. It gave all the signs of homicidal family violence. That rolled in my head. I can't blame it. Yeah, I mean, I have to think, what if, did he, he was homeless. Yes, please, Casey. You got my email address? Somebody dropped my email address. He was homeless and stuff, and so I thought, well, maybe did he owe somebody some money, or I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think that's the case. I think he did this, in my opinion. I think they need to find him. I want them to find him alive, and I hope he don't cower out. And I hope he don't call some innocent person, a cop, to unalive him by cops, if y'all know what I'm saying. I think he needs to be caught, and I think he needs to face this. And the rest will come later. Yeah, that's what I don't understand, R2 Country Girl. Why would he had a head start, so why would he leave his vehicle behind? That's the only thing I'm not understanding. But who could, unless this was premeditated. Did he have another vehicle somewhere? Yeah, the dog was alive in the truck. Yeah, he wouldn't run if he was innocent. He was homeless, and he had $13,000 behind in child support. He had gotten 600, 700 in traffic tickets recently. No job. His ex-wife turned him down a week before, and he tried to rekindle their marriage. So, yeah, it's more like if I can't have you, you're not going to have them situation. Probably, allegedly. But I think the system failed these girls. And I think they're right. I think they were all right to be worried. And I wonder if that judge is sleeping well tonight. Because I sure couldn't be. I sure couldn't. There's no clear motive, other than now it is coming out that they did try to get, he tried to get her back and she wasn't having it. But there's no clear motive as to why this happened. No clear motive, at least publicly released. And the pattern suggests there was a downward spiral of mental health decline and a lost control over his visitation, and that again he was homeless. So the court filings and Whitney's testimony indicate he felt powerless and desperate, in my opinion. I think he was desperate. You know, that's what I think. He was desperate. Life before all this horrible tragedy, the girls, Paitlin, Evelyn, and Olivia, they were remembered as very energetic, creative, and deeply loved little girls. And this devastated the whole entire community, the family, you know. And Whitney held custody after expressing concerns about Travis. And Travis retained he wasn't supervised. He wasn't supervised. But he did have daytime visits only, not nighttime. But you can see in the photos that the little girls was well taken care of. They wasn't seeming to have any problems, you know, in that department or anything. And they were happy, and they had, you know, dance classes and stuff like that the community spoke about. And the community talked about how they loved each other. The sisters did. And, you know, they got along well with the other children in the community and everybody in their classes and stuff. And to me, they had so many pictures that were beautiful. A photo's worth 1,000 words. But right now, Travis Decker remains at large. He is out there somewhere. And law enforcement intensifies its tactics, whether it's telling him he's backing off, hoping he's listening, or trying to show him if he's watching somewhere in those woods. We're backing off. Come on out. Come out wherever you are. And trying to trick him. I don't know. But they urge all the hikers and all the residents there, people who has cabins there, locals, they urge them to stay vigilant and report any tips. Once he's captured, you know, if he's, you know, taken into custody without incident, let's say, and anything happens like that, if he's still out there, once he's found, then if he's found alive, and I pray with everything I have personally that he will be, not for his sake. And I don't hope anybody dies, but I hope he's found alive, because I think he needs to face this. I think death is too easy, and I don't want him killed by cops, and I don't, you know, he don't need to take his own life. He needs to face what he did. That's just my opinion, and my opinion only. But once he's found, then the real case gets serious. Like, he's going to go to trial. You're going to have all this courtroom stuff, and you're going to really see what the 21st century of America trial is going to look like, and what's going to happen, and what's going to go down. You will. This is going to be huge. Travis Decker is still out there, but one day, and hopefully maybe soon, the law will catch up to him. And when it does, a courtroom will become the stage for one of the most emotional, heartbreaking trials this country has ever seen in its entire life. I'm willing to bet everything on it. Once Travis is arrested, he will likely face 3 counts of first-degree murder, premeditated. I do believe that. Intentional with suffocation of his 3 daughters. He's going to get interference, custodial interference. He broke his custodial order. He did not return the girls. He did unlawful flight to avoid any prosecution, and he's been evading, law enforcement ever since. He's going to get kidnapping. Absolutely. He's going to get all the aggravating factors, unaliving all 3 of the kids under 16. He's going to get abuse of trust and calculated, premeditated. He could be looking at life without parole, but I assume if they got death penalty in that state, and I didn't look it up, I assume he's going to get the first degree on all 3, and they're going to ask for the DP on all 3. That's just my assumption. He's going to try to plead out. I'm sure he will definitely try to plead out. But even hearing that cop talk in that press conference, he even said what I said. What does it matter what the motive was at this point? All of that is mute now. None of that really matters now. I don't even think they would care to get a plea deal with him now. That's just my opinion, though, Joe. I mean, I'm not them. Other than keeping Whitney from going through reliving that trauma again. But at this point, again, that might be all mute too, because it's really not like there's another child that has to go on the stand and relive it, and she's already speaking, from my understanding, I don't know for a fact, and advocating for stuff. But again, I could be wrong. I don't know on that part. That's just what I heard. So if that's the case, that I would think would be kind of mute to give him a plea deal. But hey, I'm not the cops. I don't know. I'm not the district attorney. I don't know, Kiki. That's what I just said. I don't know if Washington has the death penalty. I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't look it up. No DP in Washington State, Joe said. Well, yeah, so he'll never be free. They'll give him 3 life sentences. So what they'll do is with or without parole, and they won't give him no parole. They won't. It'll be without parole, I'm sure. And 3 times. And he won't ever, you know what? I don't know. He won't ever see the light of day, in my opinion. But what you'll see the courtroom's going to be packed. It'll be packed on one side with the grieving family, the friends, the girl's mother, Whitney, and there'll be rows of heartbroken supporters and pink ribbons and pink, green, and purple for Paitlin, Evelyn, and Olivia. On the other side, there'll be this man, Travis Decker. They probably won't even put him in a suit. They'll probably let him wear shackles in a county jail jumpsuit, unshaven, hollow eyes, because of the type of crime he committed. That would just be my guess. Prosecutors will lay out the case of betrayal, control, and cold-blooded murder on 3 little girls. It's going to be sad. But the defense, this is why we hate defense attorneys. Don't ever be a defense attorney. I'm just saying. Not really. Everybody's entitled to a defense. Everybody. But good God, I wouldn't want that job. But the defense attorney is going to sit there and argue his mental illness. They're going to argue PTSD. They're going to argue, you know, all this stuff he saw in the war. They're going to argue all the delusions. But will it matter? They're going to try to say he was incompetent. They're going to try to say all kinds of stuff. This trial is going to be the trial of the century. They're going to try everybody's patience, I'm telling you. This trial will test the boundaries of justice, grief. It's going to try things you ain't never saw before in a courtroom. But will the question ever be answered as to why? I personally don't think nobody will ever get that question answered. I don't think we will ever know why. Nor, again, do I think it will ever matter. And you know what? I think that will drive Whitney, unfortunately, more crazier than I think she's going to get, sadly, from losing her 3 daughters, the not knowing. Because the not knowing will kill you faster than anything. And she's already lost 3 beautiful angels she's loved more than anything. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. And what could be worse? Not knowing why. Why the man she loved and was with, 9 years, did this to their children. Did this. I could not. I just couldn't. I don't know how she takes the next breath. But I do think he will be found guilty on all charges if he's brought in alive. And that's just my early thoughts, my early opinions, my early theories. And they have not even found him yet. Nor do we even know if he's still out there alive or not. But can he get a fair jury? I don't know. God, I don't know. Because I think the whole world knows about this case. I know one thing. I wouldn't want to be in these jurors' shoes. I've been on all kinds of juries. And I would not want to be on a jury that I would have to make a decision on somebody's life about this. Good, bad, or indifferent. I never want to be on a jury like this. You're going to have to sit through impact statements that's going to be powerful, raw, from Whitney, the grandparents, teachers, classmates possibly. People will hear what these girls loved, what their dreams were. You know, she was going to be an artist. She was going to be a dancer. She was going to be this. She loved this. She was learning to do this. She was learning to do that. It's going to be unbearable. But it's all going to be necessary. It's going to be necessary. So yeah, I hope he's found alive. I hope he has to face this day by day. And I hope that day comes. And I hope justice walks right in that courtroom and looks right at Travis Decker in the eyes and speaks for those 3 girls. Not in a legal language, but in the aching silence to their father left behind what he did in this unthinkable, unimaginable tragedy, crime that he did. Yeah, R2 Country Girl, me too. Those 3 sweet, precious angels of his little girls, you know, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine. He's out there somewhere, y'all. And he's wanted. He's wanted either way. Let me see about these photos or whatever was sent to me real quick here. I don't want to ignore anybody. Hold on. Let's see. I don't, maybe it's in spam. Hold on. Oh, okay, I got it. Hold on a minute. Let's see. I got it. It was in spam. So, oh, here it is. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, those are rough. Hold on. Let me see if I can get them at the top. All right, let me see if I can pull that. Hold on. Okay, I don't think it's going to work. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to get it where I don't get your... Just hold on a minute. All right, maybe they can see it like this. Hold on a minute. Y'all see that? So yeah, that's really rough and stuff. Thank you for that, Cassie. So Cassie lives there. That's really rough terrain and all that. Yeah. Thank you for that. I was trying to get it up on the screen, but I couldn't because, well, anyway, y'all didn't want me to knock it off. But yeah, those sweet, precious little girls, I just can't imagine. Yeah, that's rough. But he knows how to live out there. Shoot, I don't know how he's surviving it, but they know he's there. They know he's there. But they say if there's any sign of any unusual footprints, Joe says, I've taken college courses on this shit. Joe, I think that's a class I would have skipped. Hey, that's my problem to this day. I'd have been in the front door and out the back. And see, my luck, that would have been something I needed, believe it or not. Listen, in high school, I took Spanish. My ass was out the side door across the street to Miss Winters. I shit you not. I took other classes. I'd get my friends, let's go. And that's something I did do, was skip high school a lot. I skipped school. We'd be out the door, out in the front door, out the back door. And to this day, every time I skipped a class, that's a class I need. Believe it or not, I took computer classes. Look, honey, that's a class I sure wish I would have stayed my ass in that seat today. I bet that's a class I wish I would have stayed in too. Oh my God. It's a little bit too late now. Oh Lord. Joe, you done got me telling on myself, honey. That's okay. That's okay. We get by. Look, I get by with a little help from my friends. We all okay over here, honey. It's all fine. It's all good and Smiley's good. Who's got time for all that anyway? I had to live my life. Oh my God. But anyway, they said tell everybody to lock up, and if you see anything, any out of the ordinary, unusual footprints, anything abandoned, any alone individual, anything that looks suspicious, call 911 or the U.S. Marshals tip line. Their tip line is 509-667-6845. And, I don't know what the weather is up there right now, but nobody needs to be out sunbathing up there in all that woods or be streaking or stripping or, all those things. Just saying. Y'all need to be hiding. Hiding there. Honey, if I was up there, I wouldn't be doing nothing. Hey, Joe, listen to me. When I was younger, we used to go to the courthouse down there in Metro Courthouse. They had night court. And we literally did that for fun. And we would watch them at night court. That was the funniest shit to us. Well, of course, we were young and dumb. It wasn't funny to the people, but it was funny to us. And that's what we did. That's what we did. We watched them come in. Hey, Jude's around here. She was there too. She'll tell you, honey, we used to go down there and that used to be our fun time. Hey, You want to go on a date tonight? Now let's go down to the courthouse. They had night court down there in Nashville, Tennessee. That shit was so funny. That's where I got my street smarts at, the courthouse. They don't have night court no more, I don't think. I loved it. I thought it was funny. Anyway, yeah. So, don't tell me I didn't get my medication. I got some free medication in the law. Oh, God. I don't know where Hey Jude's at, but she can vouch for that. She can vouch for it, honey. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. She's around from the block over in East Nashville. She can tell you. Hey, Jude, where are you at? Once you come back in here, you can do it. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in here. And I appreciate you spending some time with me. And I hope all the fathers out there had a great, or no, it ain't even Father's Day yet. What am I talking about, Lord? I hope you have a great Father's Day tomorrow. I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow. But I hope you get to sleep in late. Yeah, it was kind of like the People's Court. That shit was funny. Except Kiki, they would be bringing them out of the real jail. They didn't like go to court at night. These would be real criminals they would bring out of the jail, honey, or that had got arrested, and they would literally have to come in front of the judge, like these were real criminals. They brought them in front of the judge. We got to see the real criminals. We didn't get to see no fake stuff that come in there in suits fighting over lawsuits. These are real criminals that come in front of the judge. I guess that's what made it so damn funny. Yeah, it's true. That's a true story, Joe Neal. I promise to God, swear before everything I own, every stack of Bibles I got laying in here. And I will tell you, that's true. It is true. A lot of them was drunks. They get in the drunk tank have to go in front of the judge. Oh my God. But yeah, that was the truth. Or domestic, or something like that. But yeah, it is true. A true story. Safe drinking water challenge. Oh yeah, they called it a drunk tank back then, honey. A drunk tank. You never heard of a drunk tank. Oh God. Lord have mercy. I am just telling y'all. The best one will be from your 5-year-old. Oh God. Oh Lord have mercy. Yep. Well, the best one was one time my brother-in-law, rest his soul. This is my husband's brother, of course, because I have to tell some people that because some people don't have common sense, and then we'll have the haters coming in thinking it's Smiley's. It ain't Smiley's. But anyway, my brother-in-law one time got in the drunk tank. They called and said he was in the drunk tank. And it ain't my fault. But anyway, my mother-in-law, rest her soul too, told us, well, he's down there, in the jail, and they found him on the church on the church. I can't even get it out. I can't get it out. I can't get it out. They found, now this brother-in-law, I tell you what, he was an alcoholic. It ain't funny. It ain't funny, but it is. Because when he would get drunk, he'd pass out anywhere. Oh God. So they said he was passed out on the church steps down there on Woodland Street. And then he didn't even have no shoes. I don't ever know if somebody stole his shoes in the jail or if he didn't have them on at the church. Oh my God. But I'm telling you what, we all had some fun times. I'm telling you. Oh Lord. He went to church for a foot washing. He went to church to get some of that Jesus juice that they pass around on certain Sundays. It was just the wrong Sunday. Yeah, God forgave him that night. Well, you know, when you go in the church and then they pass around the crackers, and that's the supper, the Lord's Supper. Yeah. And then he drank the little juice. But maybe he was trying to be saved. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh Lord, have mercy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh my God. Mm-mm. That's funny. Oh my God. That some of that was just I know, right? I'll get so choked. I am getting so choked, I promise. Oh my God. But yeah, he kept us laughing. He kept us laughing because it was always something, and he would just pass out anywhere, just anywhere. You couldn't go nowhere with him. And he was older than my husband. He was older than my husband. I remember one time he passed out on the concrete. I remember one time he passed out on the concrete. We was with him, and we And we felt obligated. And we, of course, had, because we didn't know what was wrong with him. And we had somebody to help us. And two people had him by his arms, and my husband had him by his legs. I mean, we're out in public, okay, in Nashville, and we carried him to the hospital, to the emergency room, okay. They got him back there and checked him out, and they said, that was back when they had General Hospital. Anybody in Nashville that knew General Hospital, and they said, get this fool out of here. Ain't nothing wrong with him, but he's drunk. My husband cussed. He cussed so bad. I got some stories. I could tell y'all so many stories. I really could. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to be driving. You don't have to be driving. Oh, let's see. Members link. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Let me go back to this. Let's see. Members. See if this works. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me get to my live. Uh-oh, open up. Open up. Hold on a minute. Shoot. Yeah, he basically passed out wherever he was. He was married. Him and his wife ended up getting a divorce. She got tired of it. You know, the boy that called Wolf every time he passed out. Every time he passed out. And had to dial 911. Oh my God. Hold on, my phone. I'm trying to turn my phone on. I can't ever get it on here. Well, hold on, I might. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Oh, here's my phone. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Hold on. Da. Copy. Hold on. I'm trying to get there. Trying to get to my. All right. All right. See, that should get you in right there. Yeah, my husband was always, they were always close. Actually, yeah, they were real close. But Yeah. He was always so funny. Always so funny though. Rest his soul. But yeah, I just couldn't get over that. But anyway, but if y'all have you, let's see, you ever seen your boss drunk? Not cool. Nope. I can't say I have. I can't say I have. I can imagine that would be really strange. But I don't know. I mean, I imagine they've probably been drinking, but I can't say I really seen them that I was aware of, you know. Well, I take that maybe at a Christmas party or something, but nothing wild off the chart, you know, like they still had their composure about them, you know. So, yeah, nothing like falling over really bad. But yeah, if you do see something like that, I imagine it would be really, you know, wild. I imagine you never see them the same again. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say hey and let y'all know that you know, he still hasn't been caught yet. I really thought about 2 nights ago they were closing in on him. Oh God, you had a husband, or your husband had an uncle who looked like Charles Manson. Oh God. That was crazy. That would scare me too. Some of these people though now, they are really freaky the way they look. I cannot even imagine. You know, I know it's about the heart and all that, not how they look. But some of these people, man, all this spikes and I don't know, all these things. I'll just say all these things in their ears and their face and their I don't even know anymore. Like, it's crazy. You know. Welcome, Casey. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Welcome to Smiley Squad. Woo. Woo. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a new member. Woohoo. Welcome. We appreciate you so much. Yay. Everybody, welcome, Casey. Very good. Very good. We're so happy to have you on board. Oh, drunk all the time. Thank you, Rhonda, for being a member for 2 months. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I love all my members. I love everybody. I thank you all for being here and being with us. Y'all are also awesome, Lorianne. Thank you. Oh my God, I love you all. You're just all beautiful people. When I'm not on here, I miss you. Let's see. Yep, welcome. Everybody, welcome. But I hope tomorrow everybody does have a great day and a happy Father's Day if you are a father. And look, I'm going to be thinking about Seth tomorrow. I know it's not going to be a great day for him. What would be a great day for him is if he could have his son back and his son home. I do these stories in case you don't know up here what I do. I still have Sebastian's name right here because I want somebody to see his name or remember his story or something to click. And I want them to call. You know, his dad is hurting and he wants his son back. And I pray that Sebastian Rogers is found also very, very soon. So say a little prayer before you come or go to bed tonight. And when you wake up in the morning, say a little prayer before you come back on, that when you pick up your phone or you turn on your computer or whatever it is that you do, that there will be some good news. And this will end very, very soon, but maybe tomorrow will be the day. And Seth, if you do hear this, just know that we are all thinking about you, that we are praying for you. And we don't want you to have to keep going through this, but we're thinking about you. Oh, thank you, R2 Country Girl. Thank you so much. Love you, love you, love you. Love you so much. All right, well, y'all have a great night. I'm going to get off of here, and y'all be safe out there. Prayers for everybody, okay? Bye.